back to Cybertopia. As our disparate groups of ex-Tabula Rasa agents gradually converge on a randomly selected rendezvous point in the middle of Paradigm City, we follow the path of the last member of Team Tentacle. After the disastrous Stellar Garage heist, Juli, our punk scientist, hops out of Nox's stolen cyber pickup and heads out in search of allies he can impress with his knowledge and skills. No guest voiceovers this episode, but stick around at the end for a cool promo from The Sprouting by Blighthouse Studios.
First of all, I'm going to head towards more working class, rundown part of town from wherever I'm at.
Okay, so you hopped out probably not too far from where the lead bank is, which is already a kind of rundown part of the city. It's kind of a bit industrial, or like previously was industrial. You're not too far from where the Stellar Garage was, which was kind of in the like sciencey high-tech sector of the city.
Okay, so as far as the industrial, post-industrial sector, I would head towards where there are like warehouse parties and warehouse clubs and
Okay.
possibly like not necessarily anarchist or resistance per se, but counterculture type meetups, and you know that's a typical part of a warehouse district, and that's where Juli would feel most comfortable going.
So you're wanting to find like an underground rave kind of thing.
Yeah, an underground rave, or you know, like a punk clubhouse, or anything along those lines.
Okay. Yeah. Let's have a roll to see if you can find somewhere like that then.
All right. So this is just going to be a straight roll for me, I think.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what's on your sheet, and I can't think of anything that would be relevant to this.
No, it's all tentacles and sciencey and stuff. And I don't think waving around the tentacles is going to make it easier. So roll a d20, and the result is a 13.
Okay. So you're somewhere kind of in the northwest of the city. It's really quiet. I don't think you're finding much in this area, and maybe you walk around for like an hour just hoping you're going to stumble upon something, but yeah.
That's okay. You know what? I'm counting an hour wandering around a relatively nondescript part of the city where I can fit in okay is, you know, good when there's heat.
Yeah, there's no one on the street. It's the dead of night, and there's just nobody around. Like, the windows are dark, there's no shops open or anything. You maybe see some like warehouse kind of places or like old factories that have been abandoned, that sort of stuff, but yeah, there's really no activity, and you don't hear like the noise of music or parties or anything. Maybe like if you look back towards the city, you can see the lights of like light shows and skyscrapers and stuff that are lighting up the sky around there, but nothing in your immediate area.
That is okay. I'm gonna poke around a couple of the abandoned factories and, you know, see if there's one that's been abandoned recently enough that it might still have some office equipment. Like, you know, even if it's an older computer, things like that.
Okay, you're looking to scavenge some tech.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking to scavenge some tech and also maybe find a terminal I can log into.
Okay. All right, yeah, let's have a tech scavenging kind of roll then. Or a tech exploration roll.
You know, a lot of times when a big office or a big factory leaves, they just pull out like the main servers and the heavy equipment and leave stuff behind. So
yeah, they don't want to have to faff with recycling old equipment and shit, so they just leave it there.
They're like, yeah, that's the Windows 2000 computer. You can just leave that there. It's more costs us more to recycle it than anything.
Exactly. Okay, so what's going into this roll then?
Ooh, a 19.
And is there anything to add on to that?
No, I don't particularly think so.
Okay.
In terms of like investigatory scavenging kind of things, like when I start using the computer, then I'll have some things. But
yeah, okay. So I think you find like what one day, maybe a decade ago or more, would have been like a customer service call center kind of place, and has been abandoned. And you can go in there and you find their old like Cisco telephone systems and some like really crappy plasma screen monitors and rusty computer consoles and stuff.
All right.
None of this gear works, but there are like cables and connections, and presumably like the whole city is pretty much networked. And there is a kind of citywide Wi-Fi if you wanted to try and connect to that, and you could get like together the equipment to do so.
So yeah, I think my first two tasks here would be to set up a working power outlet or power station so that I could run things, and then to scavenge parts from these old computers and kludge to take together like, okay, this graphics card works, this motherboard's still okay, and see if I can make a working terminal.
Okay, so I think we'll have you do just one roll for all of this, of like a roll to set up an own little like temporary mini base kind of console station.
All right.
So I'm guessing like Kludge and Hack?
Yep. Kludge and Mad Science, but yes.
Yep.
And let's see.
Have you got anything else? You had a tool? Something as well, right?
Oh, yeah, Tentatools with the Tentatools. Yep. Also, okay, then that would be 20 total.
Nice. Yeah, you managed to set yourself up a nice little workstation here. You know it's not going to last a long time. Some of the components were already way past their sell-by date. So, yeah, you've got a little bit of time here. You can connect to the network and explore a bit.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure the motherboard's going to short out or the GPU's going to overheat or something like that. Like this.
Oh, yeah, this is a massive fire hazard. But it wouldn't be the first fire you've set tonight, so...
No, it would not be. It'd be a small fire. It's just a little fire. It's okay.
Well, that's what you said the last time. Before the mushroom cloud.
Well, who knows how flammable this old nylon carpet is.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you wanting to do now you're networked?
So the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to kind of check the news and see how bad the heat is.
Oh yeah, so I mean it's the middle of the night and the explosion you caused at the Stellar Garage happened maybe at like midnight. So it's not gone like completely all over the news yet, but there's definitely a lot of social media reporting on it for sure. And there's probably some news outlets that have reported a large explosion, but nobody knows any detail. So it's just there was a big explosion that a lot of people saw.
Okay. So yeah, all right, that's about as expected, but not too terrible. So then my step 2 is going to be to try to find. We talked about before. There are some not necessarily resistance, but like anti-corporate kind of hackers and stuff around.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to, as discreetly as possible, get into contact with some of their public-facing stuff. Be like, I'd like to talk to you because I have some data that you might be interested in, essentially, sort of deal.
Okay. Yeah. Let's have a networking role, I guess.
All right.
Quite literally networking.
And would all the same stuff apply for this one? Not the Tentatools, probably.
I think this is basically like surfing the web, right? What I'll say is because you got a 20 on that roll, that'll give you a +3 to the networking roll. But I don't think any of your other stuff would apply because that's more kind of hardware oriented.
All right. Then that's a 16 total, 13 plus 3.
Okay. So you managed to track down a group called the Circuit Breakers, and they're a hacktivist group. You know of them from some of the reports and stuff you would have seen when you were in Amazing Corp. They're not a big faction, but they're one of the kind of known factions within the city that are somewhat anti-Amazing Corp. They do a lot of posery kind of activism.
Mm-hmm.
They're like big on headspace and like just social media in general. Probably quite a young group, but yeah, they are into the like techno raves and that sort of stuff.
Oh, good. It's actually kind of perfect then. So yeah, I would try to arrange like a little coffee chat, and I will not send them like as a teaser. I'm not going to send them anything from the heist because that would be too obvious. But, I'll send them some of my own, like, research, like part of the schematics for my Tentatools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Valuable tech information.
Okay. You managed to get in touch with Yeah, you get a message back. Yeah, I think you find a dark web message board that they use or something, and
Mm-hmm.
you send them some teasers as to the stuff that you know and the things that you've done, and kind of listing your credentials basically to win their attention. And you quite quickly get a message back of being like, "Whoa, that's super cool. You should totally come hang with us."
Awesome. So at that point, I'll say definitely, well, I'm on my way, and just point me where to go. And once I get a place to go, I'm going to ruin the workstation on purpose.
Okay. Do you want it just to be like ruined in that it no longer will function or leave any trace of you, or are you like gonna burn this building down? Like, how far are you going?
Actually, I'm going to be sensible this time, and I'm just looking. I'm just basically magnetically wipe the computer so nothing's recoverable, and then just we disassemble all the parts and leave them strewn around so nothing seems obvious.
Okay. I think before you do this, they drop you a pin and it points to a building just kind of north of the city center. It's probably a good couple of hours walk from where you are. It is still the middle of the night, so the streets are clear mostly, so you could walk there without too much trouble. But yeah, they drop you a pin and it says under the arcade.
To steal another car, because the last thing I need to do is get caught.
There is public transport. Like, there are buses that run through the city.
Oh, yeah.
So you could potentially hop on a bus if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think I will just hop on the bus.
So something that Nox had set up previously was a small income stream from a gambling machine that he'd hacked earlier. So that access has been given to everybody that he's met. So you'd have access to some credits that you could use to pay for the bus, and you can get a ride into town.
Yeah, I'm not looking to spend big money, but taking the bus would be cool. With the messy hair and leather jacket and everything, I look like a person who would be taking the bus in the middle of the night. So that works good.
Yeah, it's a robot-driven bus. Like, there's no like small talk or anything as you get on, and you can just hop onto the bus.
Just tap your card and go.
Yeah, ride through the city. Are you going to be like looking out for anything or doing anything whilst you're on the ride? Because it's probably a good like 15, 20 minutes on this bus.
No, for the most part, I'm just going to kind of just sort of relax and look out the window.
Okay.
Watch the world go by unless, something happens on the bus.
Yeah, I think the bus is pretty empty. There's maybe a couple of late night travelers, but I mean, you're going into the city. Probably most people at this point of the night are either staying out all night or they're going home rather than going into the city. Maybe there's like a couple canoodling in the back seats, and there's an old person on the bus, because there's always an old person on the bus no matter when you get on it. But yeah, it's pretty quiet and people are keeping to themselves. Let's have an observation roll to see if you see anything out the window as you're going along.
All right. I observe. I don't even know if I see the street. I roll a 3.
Maybe the temperature has dropped a little bit and like the windows have all fogged up, and you're like, maybe you go to do that thing where you wipe the window so you can see out of it, and just like, no, this is grimy.
I just made it worse.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just you slump down in your chair and you ride for like 15, 20 minutes into the town center. And are you going to get off like as close as you can to the pin that was dropped, or are you gonna want to like walk around the corner or something? How far do you want to be?
Yeah, I'd get off a few stops away.
Okay.
And then if there's like a convenience store or gas station or a late night coffee shop or something like that open, I'd stop and grab a soda or coffee or something like that.
Okay, yeah, I'll say you can do that. And yeah, there's like a late night convenience store, like a
The 7-Eleven?
Yeah, that kind of place. You find a bodega.
Yes.
There's one of these like 24-hour bodegas that always seems to be staffed by the same person, regardless of what hour you go in. But yeah, you can grab yourself a soda and like a pack of chips or something, and have yourself a little snack on your walk around the corner.
With all the news and everything going on and not knowing exactly how much heat is on me as an individual, I kind of want to just blend in as much as possible.
Yeah. And actually, that's quite easy at the moment.
Hopping off the bus late night and grabbing yourself a snack, like a post-drink snack, just seemed like the most inconspicuous thing I could do rather than going directly to the spot.
This is how to be normal. Yeah. And as you're walking along, you come off in this area, and you're in the entertainment district. And it's probably kick-out time for a lot of the bars, but, like, the clubs are still gonna be going for a little while longer. So there are quite a lot of people out in the streets here, and there's a lot of drunkards and party-goers and people that are buzzing in and off their face and stuff. So there's a lot more going on. I wouldn't say it's crowded, but, like, there's a
Yeah,
decent
there's
number of
people.
people in the streets that you can just kind of merge into the crowd,
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of, eat my chips as I walk and go where I'm going.
So when you get to where the pin was dropped, you can see that this place is an arcade. And it's an all-night kind of computer games arcade, and it's maybe in like party mode. So there's a whole bunch of like industrial techno music going on and stuff, and flashy lights. During the day, this place is full of kids, but in the nighttime, it is like older teenagers and young adults and stuff playing all sorts of games like hyper pinball and all the like shoot 'em ups and VR rooms and that sort of thing, holodeck kind of situations. And yeah, there's a lot of noise, a lot of hype going on, and just people flowing in and out of this place. The pin, when it was dropped to you, said under the arcade.
All right, so I'm where the pin was dropped.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go around. First thing I'm going to do is play a couple pinball games and things like that. And as I, make my way around and play a couple of games, I'm going to try to keep an eye open to look for like a little VIP lounge or where there's some people hanging out with their laptops or, looking for my people essentially.
Are you playing seriously at the games, or is it just like trying to blend in kind of?
Yeah. Absolutely. Like as they wander around, they'll look around the place. But when they stop to play a game, like when they get into a pinball game or go for one of those claw drops, they're completely focused and zoomed in on it. Like this is some seriously fun stuff, and I probably can't remember the last time I got to just play a game. And I have an excuse because like I'm on official business and I have to blend in. So no, I go hard on the pinball.
Okay, the first machine you go to, are you gonna do one near the entrance, going deep, one to the side, or in the middle? Where are you going?
I'm probably going to start off by making a little loop around the outside of it.
Okay.
Through some machines. So the first machine would probably be like off to the side.
Okay, let's have a roll for playing. What's the first game you playing? Pinball?
Yeah, we'll say pinball's the first thing we're going to play.
Okay, let's play some pinball.
All right, let's see how well I do at pinball.
I'll say, if you want to, you can use your tentacles to help with a little bit of tilting and a little bit of nudging.
All right, yeah, so we're going to use the tentacles then. So even with the tentacles, that's an 11.
Okay.
I'm a little rusty. I haven't played games in a while.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the first game of the night. You need to warm up and everything. So yeah, you play some pinball, and I think like you're still also conscious of your head's not quite fully in the game at the moment. You're still half looking out for people or getting distracted and maybe kind of peeking around as you're doing it.
And there's a lot of noise and distraction around too. Not quite used to being that overwhelmed except in terrifying circumstances.
Yeah. Let's have, as you're playing, another observation roll. Let's see if we can do better than you did on the bus.
All right. And that's a 15.
Okay. Yeah, I think as you're playing, you're looking around, you're not really paying that much attention to the pinball, but you're noticing that there is kind of a specific flow to this place. And people kind of come in on one side, they do the circuit, and then they come back out the other side. And if they're having a good time, they go back around. And they'll play a few games on their way, and then they'll play a few games on the other side, and come back around and play some other games they missed on the way. But there is a corner where this flow noticeably doesn't go to. And you're like, that seems weird. Why would they have this section that is just kind of positioned in a way that people wouldn't be drawn to it?
Mm-hmm.
I like this machine's there, there's games there, but it seems noticeable in its lack of activity.
All right. So I think first I'm going to play a game that's adjacent to that area.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably some like fighting games maybe in that area.
Yeah, we'll go play Mortal Kombat 73.
Yeah, it's still going. It's another time travel based one. Like they've recycled it so many times, but yeah, what works, it works. They still got Sub-Zero. And Scorpio.
Should I see how well I do at that one as well?
Yeah, sure, why not? Let's make this the arcade game session.
All right. Even with the tentacles, I'm apparently not good at fighting games. I cannot coordinate well enough to mash the buttons. I rolled a 7.
Yeah, maybe the tentacles are actually getting in the way on this one. Like, they're getting excited and wanting to get involved. And they're pressing the buttons to mess up your combos. And you're like, no, that's not helping.
Yeah, I rolled a 7, so I don't do too good at it. I spend a bunch of my arcade credits on that game.
Yeah, you tried hard, but it's just not happening. And actually, maybe you're getting a bit frustrated and angry with the machine, and you're like shaking it around, and like you notice as you're doing this, like there's a kind of different feel or different sensation to the flooring in this area. Like it doesn't feel as firm under your feet.
That's sort of interesting. I wonder what they're hiding under here. Maybe I'll get to find out. That would be cool. Like when people hide things and I get to learn their secrets.
Yeah, and like maybe whilst you're doing this, 2 of the legs of this machine seem to be on like more solid ground, and 2 legs seem to have a bit more of a thud to them when you bang it around.
All right. So at this point, I'm going to just put a pin in that, note it for now. If I don't discover what's under there, I'll have to come back later and find out one way or another, because I need to know now. But I'm going to head over to the weird kind of out of the way section.
Yeah, so that's kind of right next to where you are. And you were adjacent to it when you were playing Mortal Kombat 73. And then in this kind of darker, slightly to the side area, there's maybe one of those punch bag machines and a kind of older looking pinball machine. And then maybe a bit further on from this area, maybe a few meters away from it, is a door to like a back office or something.
All right. And there are no immediate other people in the area?
No, it's oddly quiet around here. Like maybe like people
Right.
view this as these are the old crappy machines. No one plays these.
All right. Freaking hackers. This is some stupid puzzle thing, isn't it? Okay. There's a punching machine and there's a pinball machine. So I'm going to check out the pinball machine first. I like pinball.
Okay, let's go back to where we started. Are you playing?
Yeah, I'll see if anything special happens when I play the pinball machine.
Okay, let's have a play roll then.
All right.
Third time lucky.
Well, let's hope so. I got to do better at one of these games. Oh, that's an 18. That is much better.
Okay, is that with the tentacles?
Oh, okay, 20.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, okay. So you zone in on this, and I think maybe because it's an older machine, you click with it a bit better, and you can be a bit more tactile with it, a bit more forceful, and you are gaming. You're proper, just laser focused, and you go for ages actually, and you don't drop any balls. And after a while, you start to see a pattern in like some of the flashing of the lights, and you start using the ball to tinker inside the machine and like try and figure out the code or whatever is happening with this machine. That just seems like there's a puzzle. Like you said, there's a puzzle to this machine. And after maybe 10-15 minutes of doing this, just not dropping a single ball, you get the multi-ball going, you get the multi-ball going, you got hyper mega mode, you hit a kill screen.
With your long-forgotten name, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
In the words of the unspeakable language, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
By the spilt blood of the wicked, who walk upon this world, sprouting the words of false idols, we call upon you.
We call upon you.
On the land of the dead harvest, that which brings the earth itself into your service, Yamal, we call upon you.
We call upon you. We call upon you. We call upon you.
Yamal calls upon you.
The Sprouting, a Call of Cthulhu actual play podcast by Blighthouse Studio. Find us on your podcatcher of choice.